11 in the morning, they kicking down my mama's door. Now tell me what is this motherfucking drama for? Can the nigga get rest at the rest without the stress? Then they put the Glock to my chest. Back think boy, I switch or a pop. Off to the clink with this bitch ass chop. They got a nigga locked like the dread on my head jack. And if I try to fight back, well then I'm dead black. I got the right to an attorney and to stay silent. They got the right to try to burn me if I play violent. I know the game, so I just roll with the procedure. Illegal search and seizure, something that they doing at their leisure. Down at the station, interrogation is taking place. Overcrowded jails, but for me they make a space. Tell the devil to his face, he can suck my dick. It's the whole black race that they fucking with. Come to find my crime was letting brothers know the time on the devil and stopping them from eating swine. And plus my prior record still my faith. One for all and in God we trust. Got me sent upstate, but still I won't bite my tongue. I just write tight shit to incite the young to fight the one who keeps them on the level that's minimal. And that's the number one reason.
Frustrated, I can't do no more push-ups. Niggas be swole up, locked down cause of a hole up. The devil made me do it, what I say. Got some bad news on my one phone call the other day. I love the kids and I teach them to love their father. I'll get you some kicks and try to send some flicks, but it's over. Baby, yes, it's over. Ain't much you can do when you're holding the phone. 1 million inmates, but you're still alone. You're not trying, but inside you're dying. You might cry in the night when you're safe and out of sight. Damn, I miss my beats and the rides and the jeeps and my casual freedom. Where's my crew when I need them? A visit ain't the same like being in the game, but I'll take it. At least with that I'll make it. The beast is a bitch and I see it. I do the knowledge to him, so next time I can do him. Yo, X, I got the locket now, but write me real soon. I know that you're a busy man, give me a minute. You could never know the scene after you've been locked the fuck up in it. 17, lock it up!
Time
Yeah, we're good.
Imhotep, salam, shalom, peace, Black African power. Welcome, my African family, to another installment of the Raising Awareness Blog Talk Show. Joining us. We as a group are motivated in the awareness of true information and the inspiration of our people. In the words of Master Teacher Dr. Sheikh Akson Diop, the history of the Black African will remain suspended in the air and cannot be written correctly until African historians dare to connect it with the history of Kemet. We as a direct collective group have formed a beautiful introduction supplement to the homeschooling of our children and even the parent. We plagiarize nothing. Let me emphasize on that. We plagiarize nothing. We give proper respect and recognition to everyone, anyone, group, or organization that we use as a reference or a tool. We give praise to past, present elders and master teachers who devoted their lives in the true story and history of African people. Our supplement is easy, accessible, and understandable. It contains multiple sources for your books for your children, video links to view as a family, resource books for you, the parent, extracurricular activities, library information links, and more. We would like to direct you all to our YouTube channel, that's Raising Awareness Group. There you'll have access to all our past blog talk shows, interviews, and recorded lectures. There you'll see the link to our website, and please review the supplement we've put together. Please visit our YouTube channel, that's Raising Awareness Group, and click the link to our website for you to view our supplement. Now, moving forward with tonight's topic of discussion, we'd like to involve all our listeners in on this. We as a group have come to the point that our youth, particularly the boys, young men, are being demonized. This can't be overlooked or over-exaggerated. This is absolutely 100% true. Our boys are being demonized, as you can clearly see on network television like Fox News, Facebook, and other social media outlets. This is clearly an agenda by the powers that be. So let's dig into this topic and offer solutions to the problem at hand. Tonight, our panel, it'll be Brother Kevin Williams and myself, Brother Afrikanus. Is my brother Kevin Williams there?
Yes, I'm here, Brother Afrikanus. How you doing, man?
Peace, brother. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Ready to tackle this topic here. Just to piggyback off what you said, like our youth, especially the males, they are demonized. I see this every day at my place of employment. A couple of them come in just to either shop or just to look around, and automatically they are zeroed in as possible suspects. And and it breaks my heart when I see that. 9 times out of 10 they are just exactly what they're doing, coming in the shop, purchase something, or just window shopping. There's nothing wrong with window shopping, but the management and loss prevention teams, they automatically focuses on our black youth that comes in because maybe they have locks on their head or whatever. But while that's going on, the non-blacks are actually committing the crimes, but that goes under our noses. And it's proven too many times. And I've brought it up in so-called rallies at my job and said, hey, yeah, and I got signaled out for it later on, for so-called being divisive. But I was like, listen, you guys are focusing on one group of people that come in here. But at the same time, while this is going on, you got this other group over here who's pretty much just like, oh, well, there's distraction right there. This is my chance to go ahead and rip you people off. And they do it. And then they feel stupid when they review the cameras. So it's just like, I brought that up to them. I said, you shouldn't be prejudiced. But then again, that's human nature, I guess. We can't plead with these people.
Oh, very good point, brother. You know, it's their nature, not human nature, because a human would think like that. You know, but as far as as far as with our boys, and you know, for anybody calling in, just press 1 if you want to ask a question. You'll get our attention. We'll put you on. If you just want to sound off about the subject, we're raising awareness group. If you call in 5, we're airing live right now. Like I said, just press 1 to talk to one of us, ask us a question. Get your point across. We have no problem. We have a couple open lines tonight, too. But, you know, just to piggyback off again, you know, well said, brother, you know, that's, you know, one aspect of how our boys are being demonized. They're viewed as thieves. For some odd reason, our boys have become the iconic or synonymous with theft or robber for some odd reason. Stick-up boys, you know, and this comes from these, you know, not just social media, but just in general, Hollywood in general, of making our boys look like this. And again, let me just bring up this topic because, remember, if they're demonizing our boys, they're going to demonize the teenagers and the young men and the adults. So that's how they're going to do it. And what happens is you get demonized. Hence, this is why that cop got killed down Baltimore, because he was demonized and he was basically generalized in the eyes of white supremacy. You know, they covered up a lie. And when they covered up their lie, because they basically came out today and admitted it, that they killed this man all of the strength because they thought that he was a drug dealer. And I don't know what a drug dealer looks like. I don't know what a drug dealer looks like. I've seen drug dealers wear suit and ties, right? You know, so it doesn't matter. A drug dealer to me doesn't always look like the street corner thug that they want to over exaggerate about. Real drug dealers wear suits and ties. So more so business-like-esque. So I don't, you know, per se fall for what's a drug dealer, but that cost that young man his life. And like I said, when you become a lapdog for white supremacy, when you're a lapdog for white supremacy, don't be mad when they accidentally turn on you. And that's essentially what happened to the young brother. I'm sorry, he's a human being, he's a brother, but he lost his life because of basically demonization. And hence, this is why white supremacy couldn't recognize that he was on their side, because they already have a pretense ideology or generalization of black men. They saw a black man with a gun in regular plain clothes, and they got scared. And this is what they do. And they'll be forgiven. They'll be off the hook for it. But this starts with the boys. When you demonize the boys as little rascals, that you know, these heathens, or any of those type of words that white supremacists like to use to generalize our boys, like you said, they'll be focused, you know, 3 black boys walk in a department store looking to buy clothes or clothes shop and window shop, and they, you know, the camera's all on them, while a white girl could be walking around and she's basically pickpocketing everybody left and right and stuffing things in every hole and every place she could put them in her body and her clothes or wherever, and walk right out the store. She can be beeping and everything. She walks out, the metal detector go off and everything. They won't think nothing. But those black boys, they could be buying something in line and they'll make them take everything out their bags and make sure they didn't stuff anything. But this is just a generalization of what white supremacists have done. They've demonized our boys, because then we have to sit back and think, is there a profit in demonization of black boys? And there obviously is. There's something that's working for them. If you demonize the black boys, you have a reason to say you had to protect yourself. This is, again, why Trayvon Martin is gone. Trayvon Martin is gone is because he was demonized. He was demonized before he was dead, and he definitely was demonized after he was dead. They did an excellent job of demonizing that young boy. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, yeah, they put him on trial for his own death. What kind of crap is that? You understand? The man is dead in the ground, and they put him on trial for his own death. You understand? Oh, well, you know, he shouldn't have fought Zimmerman or whatever. You know, what kind of crap is that, man? The kid had Skittles and whatever, and soda, and walking into a neighborhood that his father lived in, and he can and look at that. Based off of the image, I guess he had a hoodie. He had a hoodie on. You know, he's dead. He's dead because he, like you said, you know, we're demonized. We're demonized from a youth, and you know, there's no way to curb that, because regardless, whatever we do, like a point example, you've heard some coons and some non-blacks say, if we dress better, we'd probably be we'd be treated better. Well, that's bullshit. That's bullshit because let's just take it further back. Almost 100 or 200 years ago, when black men were getting lynched, they weren't dressed, like Vargas or regular suits and regular, regular clothing, and they were lynched. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, those guys wear suits. They were assassinated. You understand? So it's like, what can we do? What can we really do other than just stand up for each other and try and curb white supremacy?
Oh no, well put, brother. Emmett Till was killed in a suit and tie and holding a hat.
There you go.
For a hat. So the imagery doesn't mean anything. So you have coons like that guy who was in the military. I know he's a Marine. He was with the pull your pants up. He went on CNN, and even the gay dude Lennon roasted him about that. Pull your foolishness. Because black men were getting lynched in three-piece suits in the early 1900s. So looking the part, pleasing the eye of the white supremacist, that's not going to help. I don't even understand. That's just someone making excuses. That's another lapdog ideology. See, when you have a lapdog ideology, white supremacy can do anything to you. It's always your fault to him. You have a lapdog ideology, and that's what happens. When you have a lapdog mindset like that, brother, it's all your fault. It's always going to be your fault. Accept it and just do whatever you can. See, with George Zimmerman, he just wanted to do something to somebody. He wanted to hurt somebody. It was going to boil over, and he picked his victim, and that's just how it happened. He used demonization essentially to win his case. Demonization of young black boys won that case for George Zimmerman. It wasn't the girl on the stand and she didn't say the right thing. It was the preempted demonization of black boys, which allowed him to use the excuse to defend himself, an adult, to defend himself with a gun in a fist fight with a boy, with literally a boy. And that's what they did. Same thing with Michael Brown. Demonized, called everything under the sun, but he was demonized. So we're just going to look into that topic a little bit more. If you're listening in, the number is 323-870-4085. If you want to ask a question, press 1. We'll see you. We'll definitely put you on. But I did want to bring up something else, too, to you, brother. And basically, we have to look at how media networks use this, basically against us. Media networks like Fox, who are definitely one of the biggest culprits in the game at demonization of black men. The way they use their verbiage, the imagery, everything. They have a very good, keen way of making our boys look like this. I just wanted to pull up an article for you. Just give me a second. Just take over for a second. I wanted to pull up this article about what they do and the excellent way that they use us. Actually, it was from Atlanta Black Star. Hold on just 1 second. All right, brother?
All right.
I'm just trying to load it up real quick. That's all on my iPad. I just want to read it out something to the just everybody listening. And again, if you just press 1, we'll put you on. If you have a question to ask, that's no problem.
Well, I also like to also add, if you are in the Dallas area, and March 26th, University of Kmt Media Press team is holding a workshop. And if you're from the Dallas area, or if you're even close by and you want to, attend, we do have a free ticket for you. You just call in, let us know that you're in the Dallas area, and we will have a ticket for you. It'll be taking place at the Pan-African Bookstore in Dallas, Texas, 4465 Marcel's Drive. And just let us know. Press 1. Let us know you're from Dallas, and we got a ticket for you.
Awesome, yeah. That's going to be a wonderful event. University of Kmt Press, Brother Tdka, awesome scholarship. These brothers and offered him, his wife, Yarby, they've basically authored 12 books in the past 2 years. Awesome. Bach 2, African Time, which I recently purchased, first 1,000-page author book from any black scholarship ever, 1,000 plus pages, huge, extensive, detailed information of chronological history and time and events and basically African diaspora history. It's definitely something everyone needs to do. I would firmly urge everyone to purchase Maat, Bach, African Time. These are awesome literatures that were written out carefully from brothers and sisters who devoted their whole life into our true history. As I said earlier from Dr. Sheikh Tdka, that black history, African history, has to be written, authored by black African people for it to be correct. And that's definitely the scholarship behind it. University of Kmt Press. It's just awesome information at hand, and I firmly recommend everyone to put that in their library. But I just wanted to bring up a point that I was reading in the article. Ever since I brought up the Michael Brown situation, Michael Brown's death was on August 9th, and it was a national wake-up call, death by cop of a minority man at the hands of law enforcement. And according to that data that stretched from 1999 to 2011, African Americans have comprised 26% of all police shooting victims. That's very high to be African Americans to be 26% of all police shootings. Overall, young African Americans are killed by cops 4.5% times more often than any other race and age. Since the Browns' death, we've had 14 teenagers, at least 6 of them African Americans, have been killed by law enforcement with various circumstances. We have to understand that, just to name a few, like Tamir Rice, even though he wasn't a teenager yet, but he was killed. He was 12 years old. And I want people to understand that he was described as a guy with a pistol. You have to understand these demonizations of these boys, what they take into consideration. There was another one, Cameron Tillman. He was 14. He was shot dead by the scene by the sheriff deputy. Von Dermot Myers. He was shot in the head in October, 2 months after Michael Brown. That was the boy. A lot of people was like, right after in St. Louis, they were like, there was another killing, but a lot of people never got detailed who was the kid. That was the boy's name. His name was Von Dermot Myers Jr. He was shot by the police because they was rustling. And another situation with physical altercation. Let's not forget about Laquan McDonald. After he was tires or whatever, and they shot him dead in Chicago. That's but that was an old cover up that just recently happened. Jeffrey Holden. It was just a few McWilbin. These are just some names, and it's just reading out. And there's some females too that have been murdered. And this was just an article that I wanted to just read out to people so they can understand that this is serious. And they use demonization. They normally say, "Oh, I was scared," or something that along those lines to justify. Basically, what they really want to do is vent out their animalistic ways of murder. They're just entertained by murder, and they try to use our children as a scapegoat to basically vent out their animalistic ways, brother.
Yeah, truly. I mean, and it's sad when you go to social media after all of these cases of all the brothers, young brothers that you just read off. You should just look at their responses. Oh, if he would have obeyed, he would have been still alive. Or where was his parents? Things like that. And I'm just like, how could you justify, just because a guy wears a badge or whatever, how could you justify a cold-blooded murder? I mean, you could look at other cases and compare that of other non-black kids who, may have done something similar, and yet they are arrested, and then they get a chance to be part of their due process and either be convicted or not. Where it says our young boys, they're just shot dead, and there it is, judge, jury, and execution and stuff. But it's just sad how people just justify these type of things. Like, where's your logic? Just take all your bias out and look at it. You're gonna tell me that the cop was actually, justified just because he said he was scared. How is he scared if the kid is unarmed? A kid and is unarmed. You understand? I mean, just like you said, I guess it's just their animalistic ways. Their tribal, primal instincts. It just kicks in. And then we have Lapdog Coons who actually co-signed this crap, and it just makes you wonder. Like we have no friends.
No, we don't have any friends. No, you're absolutely right, brother. We have no friends, and what we have to understand with our people is that we put too much faith in the people that are paid to protect us. They have ulterior motives, and I tell people, like, a lot of issues that's happening here, like major cities like Philadelphia, where I come to find out, and it's even going on in the New York, Jersey areas, that majority of the police don't live in your area. They're not from your area, so they're not going to care about your area, especially if you're living in an area that's pretty much 70+% active. The flip side, 90% of the police force is white. That's not going to help. It's not going to help you. Most of these white boys, they never went to any schools that had carried majority black people, never interacted with black people on any type of sociable level at all. So anything they're going to know or think about black people is going to be from what? Their hatred from their parents, because white people just have hand-me-down hatred. The Irish, they have hand-me-down hatred. Don't trust no black people, Jews, Italians. They just have hand-me-down hatred. They just don't trust those niggas. That's just within them. So then in turn, they turn around and, of course, the children keep it. I just saw a video on Facebook where a little girl, little half black, it looked like the black girl looked like she was biracial to me. I may be wrong. And it was a white girl calling her a nigger to her face. And, she pushed her and she punched her, knocked her down, everything. That black girl whipped her good. But this basically is a clear indication. Where did this little girl get to learn how to call someone, or had the audacity to call someone a nigger to their face? She knew what this word was, and she knew the power that it had behind it. This is just learned behavior from her parents. Her parents handed her down hatred. And then in turn, this is why she had hatred. And for some odd reason, she felt empowered enough to say this to this little girl's face. And, of course, there was repercussions to be had behind it, and that's what happened. But this is what I keep telling you. This is the demonization. Don't trust black people because of this. Hate black people for that. They don't really have no bona fide reason. This is really just white people exerting their self-hate and their misery out, and they try to find means to justify it. That's what it's all about. And to do demonization, like they say, rap music. They demonize us. They demonize us in music. They demonize us. They put us on a pedestal, make us look a certain way, act a certain way. That's not generally how black boys act, but these are the way they use us to make us look like on social media. These black boys with their pants falling down. I don't conduct myself around boys like that. Does it happen? Yeah, I'm not going to say it doesn't. But this is what they want you to think the grand scale of it is. See, when you go by facts and numbers, it'll contradict that. But they generally just want, like with Fox News and like situations with Mike Brown and Jordan Davis and kids like that, they try to create these negative images, like you said, the hoodie thing. I see white boys wear hoodies all the time. They're not looking fine like that. But there was another situation, and again, like I said, 323, we're the Raising Awareness Group. You can chime in. The number's 323-870-4085. We got a couple open lines. We'll put you right on. Just press 1 if you have a question to ask, or you just want to sound off about the situation at hand. That's no problem. I just wanted to go to about another article that I got, and this is from the Huffington, and Brother Michael Myers wrote a beautiful article. I just want to talk about this article real quick. And he actually got into it. This is my source. Brother Michael Myers writes, what are Fox News Channel's primetime hosts like Bill Riley and Megyn Kelly thinking when they're waiting and calling for their audience attention to black-on-black crime? And I just wanted to emphasize, they love to talk about black-on-black crime. They don't want to talk about white-on-white. White-on-white crime is higher by the numbers. It's higher than so-called black-on-black crime. But these are the things they don't want to acknowledge or understand. So Bill O'Reilly puts it bluntly over. Go ahead, brother. What you say?
No, I was saying that's because white-on-white crime doesn't get the media attention. I mean, like down here in Miami. I mean, any type of we have high crime down here. I mean, Let's not, pretend that we're just a damn beach city with, fake asses and mojitos and all that good stuff. Shit goes down over here, and any type of crime, shooting happens in our predominantly black areas, it's on the news. But then I could tell you this: at the same time as this is happening, you go into Little Havana or Hialeah or Sweetwater, which is the white Hispanic areas, Cubans and other Hispanics. Bro, it's the same shit. They got their own type of crimes going on, but it doesn't make the news unless it's really gruesome. Like one case in Hialeah, a dude, like he was off. He was completely off, and he just picked up a pistol and he shot his mother in the apartment complex, and then he shot like 5 other people before the SWAT team was forced to shoot him. And they were negotiating with this man for like 5 hours. You know what I'm saying?
5 hours.
They didn't even, 5 hours negotiating, and then they finally took him out. Now just imagine if, flip the script, and they say we pull the race card all the time, but we have to because it happens. You feel me? If it was a black dude, if it was any black person who did that, there was gonna be no negotiating. They would have shot him up right then and there, and be like, well, it was justified because, well, he killed 6 people, and he was armed and dangerous. Whereas or the other guy, he was mentally disturbed. We tried to, calm him down, but hey, it didn't work out that way. But only types of white on white crime will make the news if it becomes, like gruesome, not like our situation where it's probably, 2 dudes having beef and whatever, then one catch the other dude and shoots him, and then whatever, and then it makes the news. But I'm go back to what you were saying. But I was just wanted to bring it up because they don't bring a white on white crime in the media, because then it'll say America has a completely crime problem instead of a black on black crime problem.
Right. That's a good analysis that you just brought up. Instead of calling it what it is, just an overall crime problem, they'll just call it that. They'll be more into just saying, look, it's just these black people. It's all black people. It's all black people's fault. They just like to do that. Yeah. But overwhelmingly, violent crime in the country is generated by young black men. This is according to what Bill O'Reilly from Fox News would say. He did say this, and he said that this is to the black minister Jacques DeGraff and several other blacks on the TV show, such as actor LeVar Burton. We all don't know who LeVar Burton is. LeVar Burton, he was Kmt Press. He played in Star Trek, one of my favorite shows. The Roots blogger Lynette Holloway quotes O'Reilly's explanation for why he thinks so many of the kind, fear young blacks like Trayvon Martin, young black men, commit murder at 10 times higher rate than whites and Latinos combined. And this is what Bill O'Reilly said. The Fox News Channel's most popular talk show host regularly invites guests to talk to them who sound off and just like them when tooting their race horn. That includes Fox News commentators like Geraldo Rivera, who has become infamous for his racial toots. On such Fox talk shows as Hannity and the Bill O'Reilly Factor, too, Geraldo Rivera assigns black males as if they are society's moral monster. Geraldo openly and readily faults young black males for wearing hoodies, as he is known for switching the most sober of topics to his rants about young black males for the cause of black-on-black crime. Most recently, Geraldo declared black-on-black crime as the civil rights issue of our times. And this is from Geraldo Rivera. I'll get into him later. Geraldo has even suggested that blacks who wear I Can't Breathe T-shirts in sympathy for the fallen Eric Garner, who cops tackled in Staten Island for the offense of selling Lucy's, unofficial, which are basically loose cigarettes out the box, should instead don T-shirts that read, "We are the problem." Geraldo, in Perfect Racial Flourish, proclaimed that black-on-black crime is more of a threat than ISIS. What these Fox News Channel's on-air personalities almost do every day and every night whenever the topic of civil rights, Baltimore police misconduct, or race is to blame for their dysfunctional families, to their out-of-control children, for the youth race, potentially to commit crime more than other races. These hosts are pundits plain talk to, in effect, demonize black males, and to the label of them in society as menaces. On there and other shows, and in O'Reilly's Talk Points rants, they spread the gospel and the crime of America, the definite skin hue, which is black. And recently, they have stated to blame other black, namely black officials, like mayors of Baltimore, mayors of the darker cities, all Democrats, libs, they declare for crime getting out of control. The same on-air experts have much to add, say, and connect race with the stop and frisk practices and control, too. They side reflectively with the cops who intuitively know and wary of lack of support from liberal Democrats and on angry black communities. And they lament loudly how black leaders don't seem to care that the majority of the crime against blacks are committed by other blacks. As Megyn Kelly asked the National Urban League Mark Morrow on her show last December, where are the protesters over the fact that 91% of all blacks who were murdered in 2000? O'Reilly forever fought the civil rights industry, folks like Mark Morrow, one of who supposes for the champion court ruling for the day of curtailed discriminatory stops and frisks by cops. In so doing, O'Reilly and his colleagues support former New York Police Commissioner Ray Kelly, who boldly confessed to sizing cops on blacks and Hispanic males used for frisking because, as the police chief explained, blacks commit the most crime in their crime-ridden neighborhoods. As a city, we have to face the reality that New York's minority communities experience a disproportionate share of violent crime. To ignore the facts, and the critics would have to do, they will be formed of discrimination. Commissioner Kelly to the media and to all New Yorkers, Fox News personalities just don't straight out blame the blacks for committing most of the violent crimes. They simultaneously put their best patronizing voice in the calling out of blacks. That way, we viewers are supposed to feel that they are actually feel for the black people. Thus, we are expected to swallow their exaggerations and how the most violent crimes are committed by blacks as the means that most blacks are hanged. Most black males are criminals, which is just not true. Individual act. It is an individual thing. Crime is a racial group, or is not a racial group, or is not a skin color. In that regards, there is no more such thing as the black male, such lesser as the black male problem in America, or many more than what was the Italian male problem or the Irish male problem, when society casually stereotypes and blame the Italians and Irish communities for street gangsterism. Now, let me just stop right there for a second. There's more to this article, but I wanted to get into something. We have to understand, and I want anybody listening in, we still barely make up 15% of the nation's population. If you go by the stats, 13%. You'll see 12 and 13%. I think back in 2012. Of course, the number is always a little bit higher. You could say if it was 12 in 2012, it could have been 13 or 14. Now we're in 2016. So you could say if it's up to 15%, we're around 17 and 19. We could say about 17% of the nation's population. We're still at or around 40 million people. African descent people in America, and then they do group biracial children into that as well. But I want people to understand something. The first drug dealer in America was a white man. The first criminal in America was a white man. Crime is created when you take areas and you destabilize them on purpose, when you keep jobs, when you don't put funding in the homes, when you don't, not in the homes, but in the communities. I was just around the produce store, and I was talking to the brother about how I saw these kids standing on the corner. They were sitting like on a little plant-based stone, like a little seating out in the patio. And I didn't know. I thought they were waiting for some food to come out of the store. They were using the Wi-Fi. He told me this. He said, I fund the Wi-Fi around here. Kids come around my store just to use the Wi-Fi. Some of them, their parents, they may not have internet in the house. So they go around there and, to use their internet. But this just proves, and Philadelphia was supposed to have been a Wi-Fi free city at one point in time. Our black mayor ruined that for us. But he cut a deal with Comcast so they could keep having their building and be the primary cable provider of the area. So, but that's just a point that I just wanted to make about how they systematically make things harder for our community. These kids, it's going to be a rough summer this year. These kids need jobs. I don't see anybody out here, and we are going to have a community outreach show coming up soon, so people in the community can, how to take action. Because you're going to have a lot of kids out of school this summer, and they're just going to run rampant and run crazy. We've had a number of kids already get shot in the city for really no reason, just being outside. So we got to keep these kids busy. But what I would like to stay on point about is that how they demonize us is the little things that they do. They call us drug dealers. We become synonymous with being gun-toting, pants-sagging, hoodie-wearing drug dealers. We don't bring any drugs into this country. There are no black people who own submarines, planes. We don't dig holes in Mexico. We don't have any. But we become the face of the drug dealer. When the Italians came to this country on those boats, they came with opium. They came with dope. The Irish, the Dutch, the German Dutch were smuggling drugs all across this country, from east to west, north to south. You name it, they were the ones that were traveling, taking it anywhere. Black communities, we don't have crack. We don't have crack trees. I'm sorry, crack doesn't grow on trees in our community. It's put there. It's bought here. Dope is bought here. Cocaine is bought here. Anything, all these drugs are bought here. We have nothing to do with it. But we tend to get the tail end of the problem is known as the drug dealer. Again, like I said, drug dealers, to my knowledge, don't wear hoodies and sagging pants. They wear business suits and ties. So when we get demonized off the look of what they think a drug dealer is. Some drug dealers actually wear guns and badges as well. So I just wanted to put that out there to the people. And this is what Fox News and social media, they do when they demonize our young black boys. And they make you hate them. They make you hate them. And this is what a lot of problems with the black community is now, is that there's a issue between our elders and the young youth who can't get along or don't know how to approach each other, have dialogue with each other. As our elder says, teach the children. That's a solution. We need to teach the children. The elders have to come along and actually teach each other. Because a lot of them are just looking for guidance and direction. And a lot of them, they're not getting it. They're not getting it at home, and they're not getting it from their elders. So we have to. That's a solution that we need to initiate to get back into our community and keep our boys straight. But again, we're the Raising Awareness Group. Call in. It's 323-870-4085. If you have a question, you want to sound off, just press 1. Also, Brother Kevin, talk to him about the situation in Dallas coming up.
Oh, yeah. The Unity of Kmt Press is presenting a powerful workshop. If you live in the Dallas area, call in, and we have a ticket for you to attend. It'll be at the Pan-African Bookstore, Connection Bookstore, and Marcel 65 Marcel's Drive, Dallas, Texas. Call in, let us know you from Dallas. We got a ticket for you, man, and you wouldn't want to miss this powerful event. But I wanted to make a point, actually bring up something. The demonization of our youth. I wonder, do you think that, it really starts? I mean, it starts from probably when they're in the in school, from elementary school to middle school to high school. I mean, a lot of these youth that goes to the school is supposed to be getting educated. They the teachers pretty much demonize them in the classroom, as lazy, then they'll get sent to the principal. Yeah, disruptive. They'll get sent to the principal's office or the counselors, and then they come and put them and say that they have whatever that ADHD thing, and then they put them on these Adderalls and all these stupid drugs that makes them more unstable. So then when they come to the classroom, the teachers already demonized them with all of that. Then whatever. Then they get disruptive, and then they're like, oh well, he's disrupting the learning environment. Then they send them to alternative schools, like we have down here, where then they go to schools when then they start fighting other cats because they're not going there to learn, because you took them out of that so-called stable learning environment and you put them in the pit. You send them to these alternative schools who're supposed to reform them, which really that's not the case. The teachers that go there just show up just for a paycheck. security guards that show there for pay. They don't.
That's all they are, corrections officers.
Yeah, this is exactly, and so, and I mean, I went to an alternative school in middle school at one point, and not because of, I was disruptive in the class. It was just I was getting into a lot of fights at the time, and down here, I don't know how it is now, but back then you get suspended twice. They kick you out for a semester, so you have to go to an alternative school. But I mean, when you look at the situations, all it is when you go there, it's pretty much it's a big underground fight club, or even worse, So I mean, I think it starts in the public schools, which now, as we know, it ain't our best interest to even put our kids in these public schools. But I think public school starts this, and then because of that, it starts that that prison, school to prison pipeline. I mean, what's your take on that?
Well, let's look at it like this. What role do schools play in? Let's look at it like this perspective. What do we have in the average day today? Number one, the schools first has to provide safety for the kids. That's number one.
Yes.
They have to have a proper curriculum for the kids. That's education. That's your math. That's your science, your spelling, your reading, your history, whatever, chemistry class, whatever. That has to be the proper syllabus courses they take. Then you have to have physical activity, and then also a nutritional health value for the school. Some schools offer a breakfast. They all have to offer a lunch. Okay, so let's break that down. Most schools have switched to a uniform-based center. Now, this is what I tell people. Those are not uniforms. That's not a uniform. A pair of khaki pants and a golf shirt is not a uniform. That's number one. That's just still leisure wear. They're not wearing a uniform. And they wear some sneakers, skippies, or whatever they wear on their feet. That's still not a uniform. So what have you now? You have a white teacher who's probably from nowhere near your area, who's probably never interacted with black people, let alone black children. And now he's supposed to be the teacher, the educator, basically the guidance and the direction of 30-some-odd children in a classroom. Most likely it's going to be a white woman. We have an issue there. Now we have an issue where they come to school. They got to go through metal detectors. Now you're setting them up for what? You've already given them the false preemptive of being dangerous. Now you have to go through a whole regimen of seeing police and all types of other security guards walking through the school. Now it's looking more like a prison. Now let's get more in detail in the classroom. Now these kids are learning things that they really don't care for. After they get past the math and maybe some science that they might get a little shakes or giggles from, now they learn another language, whether it's French or Spanish, that they're generally going to learn. They're not going to learn an African language. Half of them can hardly speak English straight, so now they're going to speak Spanish and French. Their minds aren't, and then they're sitting there in the classroom for almost 7-8 hours a day. They're bored. Of course, they're going to get disruptive. You got a teenage boy, probably you got a teenage girl. Everything's hopping around inside of them. They're going to, their bodies are growing, everything, and they're just sitting still. Most of them always have an excuse why not to be physically active. They all have you hear a lot of them have asthma or some type of physical doctor excuse why they don't participate in physical activity. So they're just sitting there listening to an uninterested college dropout who probably just has an associate's or BH degree in something that has nothing to do with being an educator. And so he's going to be really unmotivated to teach 30-some-odd children who he has no connection with whatsoever. He has no physical connection with. He's never even dealt with black people. He or she has never dealt with black people. So what makes you think they're going to deal with black children? And then they're just there just to cover their little tax break. That's all they really want. So now you have an unmotivated teacher with an unmotivated child. And they're supposed to be one to motivate. There's your disconnect right there. Let's look at the nutrition. What are they eating in school? They're eating basically jailhouse 1,500 calorie a day meals. They're not eating quality meals. And most of the meals they're eating are loaded with sugar. We had the SPPM on a couple months ago. They told us what they're feeding them down there in D.C. Literally estrogen-based, full of fluoride and sugar food. So you're messing with them psychologically. You're messing with them psychologically and genetically now. And now you're dealing with this, and they come back and they sit in the can't even sit still. Now, like you said, now they ADHD. They can't sit still. Now they're going to get stamped. Now they can't sit. Now we got to send them these alternative schools. See, this is just a recurring problem over and over again. You know, but yeah, we're the Raising Awareness group. The number is 323-870-4085. You want to chime in with us, just press 1. We're talking about the demonization of black boys. You got your brother Kevin Williams, myself, brother Afrikanus. Just press 1 if you want to chime in with us or you just want to sound off. Also, just like the brother said, University of Kmt Press, they'll be in Dallas on the 26th. If you're calling from the Dallas area, we'll be giving away tickets. You will get a free ticket to meet Brother Tdka, Kilimanjaro, his wife. Those brothers will be there. Definitely something you should see. Awesome information from Kmt Press. These brothers and sisters have authored a multiple of at least 12 books. They have a whole new library. Like I said, I just purchased African Time, which is an awesome book. You guys need to get it. Bach and also Maat. These are just awesome books to have in your library. Hold on, let's see. Let's take a caller. Brother.
All right. Area code 817. You're live with the Raising Awareness group. Hello, caller. Area code 817. You're live with the Raising Awareness group.
Okay, brothers. This is Brother Yahra. How y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing good, man. How you doing?
Who's this?
Doing well. This is Brother Yahra Aaneb. I was just listening.
Oh, okay. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing quite well.
Oh, okay.
Is Afrikanus I'm speaking to? Is Afrikanus?
Yeah, this is me. Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, brother? What's up?
How you doing, brother? It's good to hear
from
you.
I'm doing well.
Oh, I'm glad you chimed in with us. You should have told us. We didn't know you were going to chime in.
No, I was just listening. I saw it and I was supposed to hit it and I hit it late, so I was just listening.
Hey, so listen, you know, we got the word, you know, we got the tickets we're going to give out for the lecture on the 26th. I would love to be there. I really would love to be there. I know you, Brother Tdka's wife, you guys are definitely going to put it down. I've been reading through African Time. It's just a wonderful book. I'm not going to give nothing away. It's just awesome history book. I wish any black scholarship or any African-centered schools would really put the library, University of Kmt Press, in their selection of books for the children. It's an awesome book. I'm going to start getting into Maat and Bach as well. But again, just thank you, brother, for everything you guys are doing. Just awesome library, and I hope everyone who's really who's serious and want to rid themselves of white supremacist ideology and their thinking, and we get into an African-centered way of thinking, strongly advise them to use University of Kmt Press as their library.
We appreciate that, Brother Afrikanus. I appreciate the work of the Raising Awareness group. You guys have been outstanding in your efforts in relation to what you've done before you met us and what you've done with our work. Just the selfless promotion of our work, and then what I would imagine to be the tireless work to get the word out there, to present information to our people to change their lives. I mean, so I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys and sisters. Appreciate your sisters and brothers. Our desire is to have our work in front of our children, and we understand that we have to use, I guess you could say, non-traditional means to get that done. And so we don't really have a vision of the African schools purchasing our work and putting them in their libraries, because there's a lot of misunderstandings in that system about what African-centered means. What African-centered means and what it takes to be African-centered. And so, as you know, our work is squarely centered on Africa, and then we move from that point. We don't practice non-African religions, non-African spiritual systems. We don't look to Greece and Rome for our intellectual heritage. We don't have a value placed on capitalism. The French, Greek, and Roman style of dress is not our mode. It's not what we do, not what we present. So we've for all intents and purposes, we've rid ourselves of everything Arab and white from our lives. And so with that said, standing in front of, working with others who are still holding on to those things that are Arab and white, and who have no intention of letting them go. Not that they're in the process of letting them go, but have no intention of letting them go. That's a tough battle, to ask them to use information to turn it into knowledge to present to our children, when the information that they were asking them to use directly speaks to what they are not doing or unwilling to do. So that's a tough sell. And so it's through programs like this and platforms like this that our work is able to get out. And of course the upcoming event in Dallas, and we're setting up the live stream for it, so we can get around the world. So those people that are serious will have access to serious text where we don't compromise, where we haven't compromised the content for. That's where we are. But again, I just want to say thank you to you guys. I was just listening to the conversation.
Definitely.
To the sisters and brothers. I'm sorry.
Oh, definitely, brother. Definitely. Again, we thank you for everything you're doing, and we do have to change our way of thinking because, as we're talking about tonight about the demonization of black boys, some of us are doing it too, and that's because our methodology is wrong. Our methodology is wrong, and we need to correct our methodology because we're following white, European, Indo-Aryan, Arab ideology and thinking. The immediate demonization of black people in general, on top of, just not our boys, but black people. Arabs have had their hands demonizing us in general. They demonize our genitalia, our culture, our history, our language, and our people. And the white man has done it more modernized, sociably. So you're right, and we have to change that. We need our African minds. We need our African minds back, and we need to think with an African paradigm. And I believe we have to do it with our education, and we have to do it with what we put in our minds as far as what we're reading. And like I said, just the overview of Kmt Press, what you offer with the books and the book selection of the library, I truly believe will help vastly in getting our people back their African minds.
I'll finish with it because one thing I do want to say is that part of it is personal responsibility. Part of it is personal responsibility. What are you going to do faced with what you're faced with? Because the people that want to harm you are set on harming you. And so the question is, what are you going to do to be your best self, to first ward off the attack, and then to defend yourself, and then beat those that are trying to harm you, and then stand on them as you've defeated them, and build something in your best interest. Far too many of us have laid down, and we've turned turncoats. We made the compromise, and so far too many of us have made the compromise. And so here we are. Here we are today with people that have, just the example, a person might have an Arab first name and a European last name because their parents were transitional when they were born. And so seeing that has to take on the responsibility of saying, well, let me make that correction to African first name and African last name. Choose whatever African culture you want to. But that takes you out of Arabia and any white civil society, any white cultural grouping, Greece, Rome, America, Spain, Portugal, France, any one of them. You can choose any African language and name yourself in that, and you're far better off than maintaining the Arab first name and the European last name. And so it's a personal responsibility that we have to take on first. You apply that to diet. First, you have to stop eating the fast food, right? Nobody said you have to fast for 14 days. Just stop eating the fast food. You know, do the small things. Incorporate more leafy green vegetables into your diet. So as you stand in front of children or grandchildren, they see that. They see that. And so the example is a practical example. And so but to initiate that, we have to take personal responsibility. The people that are attacking us have taken personal responsibility for themselves. They're on a mission to take everything we have and then destroy us. And so they've almost succeeded. Well, they have control of the African continent. They have yet to destroy us. This is our window of opportunity. This period, however long that period lasts, is our window of opportunity to gain control of our hearts, gain control of our minds, and then do something that's in our best interest. But we have to do something strategically. Blaming those that are attacking us does not help. Crying about the attack does not help. Compromising with the attacker does not help. And so uniting with everybody just because they have black skin does not help. We have enough examples in our history to show what happened when everyone in the so-called organization is not on the same page. Malcolm was killed by people who said they were Muslims, practicing the religion of peace, but he was killed by them. Even King was killed by a white person who was Christian. He was stabbed by a black person who was Christian. And the list goes on and on. The list I can go on and on. Marcus Garvey had turncoats in his organization, and on and on and on and on and on and on. We can go through this. So we have to be clear about who we're uniting with and why. And so which is explained in Maat. And so once that's done, we can begin to check and balance each other. And that's why we say teams win, right? So teams win. We all have the same goal of winning, under these parameters, and we do what's necessary to win. And I'm not looking to be the quarterback when I have more potential as a running back, or I have more expertise as a running back. I'm not looking to be the quarterback. And the quarterback is not looking to be the running back. So we all do what we are good at, and the team will win. Yeah. So that's just it. But the main hit that I wanted to drive is that it's a personal responsibility, and what the Raising Awareness group has shown us is that your group, sisters and brothers, have taken the personal responsibility to not only talk about what's beneficial for African people, not only lay down discussion about, but to support other organizations, other teams that are doing it, and to do things on your own, create your own. And so that's promising. That's promising. That's uplifting. And so I do appreciate the work of the Raising Awareness Group.
Brother Ari, we appreciate it, brother, and definitely thank you for your influential words. And and like, again, we're just honored to be associates of, University of Kmt Press. And like I said, once I, did my overview, because when Elder Mku, when he said, hey, check this book out, check out some of this literature, I was just blown away. I was blown away. I said, I was blown away. I just said, this right here this is dope. I said, this is the foundation of what we need. And like you said, accountability. The methodology is what struck me the most about University of Kmt Press. And like you said, in this situation, you have ownership of what you're doing and what you need to learn, what you need to do for the next generation. And of course, teach the children overall. Just teach the children. So,
tell our children.
All right, tell our children. You just want us to put you back in the box, so you can just, you can just keep listening on the show. If you want to chime back in, just press 1, and we'll put you back on. brother.
Sure. So I'm gonna mute it on my side.
Okay.
Whatever works
you want
best
to
for
get
you
back
guys.
in, just press 1 on your phone. Just press 1. We'll put you right back on.
Okay, we'll do.
All right.
Hotep,
Thank you,
everyone.
brother.
Okay.
Hotep.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Hotep, brother. So
Yeah,
man.
Another
thing. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying that one thing that we need to do. I mean, everything that y'all just talked about, is straight up we need to set the standards of our image. That's one thing we're not doing. We're not setting the standards of our image. You know, we're just letting it run amok. This I mean, let me tell you, man. I was young once. Of course, you know, the sagging pants is nothing new, but it was not crazy how it is now. And I'm talking about these cats are wearing their pants off their ass. You know, me and you in the same age group. When we sagged our pants, if we wore it, it was just off our waist. You understand? I mean, and that's no better. I'm not trying to justify it. What I'm saying is, we need to change our image and not just how we dress, but how our women. It starts with our women. I mean, look at it. A lot of them don't want to promote the hair that's growing out of their heads. If we have more women doing that, we would see less of the false hairs and stuff. And
the hair hat.
Black men,
the hair hat.
Yeah, the hair hats. Yeah, I didn't want to use that word, but yeah, the false hair. I'll just say it like that, the false hair. And then also what if the young men change up our image, dress more presentable, and then of course have some more Afrocentric clothing. We can have more of a positive image instead of this demonized gangster thug, effeminate girly men. How these cats are dressing today, I don't know what's up with that, but it's cool to them, I guess. Like I said, we gotta change our image. It starts with that, and then everything else that you and the brother just spoke about. Then we could be on the right page. But until then, we gotta up the battle.
And you know what? Also, brother, I think we have to. And thank you. And also, brother, I think we need to. As far as cleaning up our image, we have to clean up our verbiage. Like foul language, the foul language has to stop. Our brothers have to articulate themselves and express themselves better without using foul language. And, just overall bad candor, and also even with us when we have disagreements with each other, we need to just have humility and respect each other, even in disagreeing. Even if we disagree in ideology, there's a proper way to go about it. And we have to talk to each other with respect and humility and candor. We don't have to disrespect each other to get our points across. And that's something people have to do because we've been demonized into that as well. And that's just something I wanted to get across. But, again, we're the Raising Awareness group. If you're chiming in with us, just press 1. The number's 323-870-4085. Just press 1, and we'll put you right on. Let's put on our brother. Let's put our brother Jason Shem. Brother Jason Shem, you're live with the Raising Awareness group. How you doing tonight, brother?
Hey, what's going on, brothers? Big up to everybody.
I'm all right. Oh man, we're doing fine, brothers. It's a wonderful day to be a black man. I'm happy with the skin I'm in, man.
This daylight savings kind of turned me off.
How's everything on the island doing tonight, brother?
Not too bad.
That's good, brother. That's good. Yeah, we're talking about the demonization of our black boys. And it's just a major problem in our community, and just not in our community, but I think I'm starting to see it globally, and especially when we're talking with, media networks, outlets like Fox News, CNN, and just the overall cowardly and nasty verbiage and outlook black boys have gotten as being, and then the justification of how our young black boys have been brutally murdered in the streets by white supremacists. And just give me an outlook, brother. Is that going on the island too? Are black boys being demonized on the island?
Well, I wouldn't say it's that bad out there still, but we do have more like a class segregation and demonization of people coming from certain areas.
Class
people from those areas happen to be majority black,
Really?
But
Makes
it goes a little bit deeper. So you have to look at the definitions that we use. Almost everything black is considered to be bad.
breaking up there, brother. You were breaking up there, brother Jason.
Okay. Y'all hear me now? Hello? Y'all hear me now or what?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was saying there's more insidious out there where there's a class thing, but at the same time you still have the definitions that depict everything that is black as negative.
Yes, I understand. We can see it. It's an ongoing problem. I mean, I bring it up all the time. We don't have it here in the States, but in Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean, they have they hate the black skin that they're in so badly that they, of course, you know what I'm going to say, they start bleaching.
Yeah, a lot of them do.
Start bleaching, and
unfortunately.
you know that saying, if you're brown, you can stick around. They're not going to become white, but if they become brown, they can, I guess, get a little bit of perks.
Well, that's the whole gist behind doing it. But as to whether or not it's actually true, I don't know. Like if a person that actually bleaches and successfully bleaches, if they get more privileges,
No.
that's really hard to say. That's a negative. If anything, they get more ridiculed and considered to be like a monkey or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why it's like that, but then again, it goes back to what we're talking about, the demonization of black people generally. I mean, let's just face it. Everybody in this planet, they just don't like us.
True.
For obvious reasons. I mean, not just on all supremacists here, but hey, I mean, straight up, we are, we're physically more dominant. Which, things like that. The skin, we can live in the sun, with no sunscreen and things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then I guess penis envy same way. A lot of these crackers, they feel inferior when it comes to that. So it's a whole bunch of reasons.
Dr. Francis Creswell Singh would say is the fear of genetic annihilation.
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, they're dying out, and then so now they're trying to, I guess, in a sense, assimilating with us, but at the same time, it's where they're trying to kill our race to strengthen theirs. But a bunch of this is demonization. It's the media thing. Everything takes part. From music to TV.
What you guys have up there called Planned Parenthood? We have down here in a similar form. What you guys have up there that Margaret Sanger created, the Planned Parenthood thing?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, what we have out there is family planning rather than Planned Parenthood, so it sounds better.
Truly. Yeah, man. But anyway, man, thanks for calling in, Jason, man. Always appreciate your support, brother. I'll put you back in the box, man. I mean, if anything else you want to say, just hit one again, man, and we'll move on and take some other callers.
Big up, everybody.
Come on, look more.
Cool.
All right, we're the Raising Awareness group. If you want to call in, the calling number is 323-870-4085. Want to chime in and speak with the host, or just want to sound off, press 1. And also, if you're in the Dallas area, March 26th, we have a very special event presented by the University of Kmt Press. It'll be taking place at the Pan-African Bookstore Connection. And, if you're from the Dallas area, call in, let us know, and we'll give you a ticket to attend. Believe me, you don't want to miss this. This is very powerful. And these people, the University of Kmt Press, I mean, they are the real deal. I can officially say that. Well, let's go take the next call. I'm gonna bring in my brother Kufu. Brother Kufu, how you doing, man?
Brother Kufu. Hotep. It's Brother Kufu. Aku Mental Hotep, co-founder of Raising Awareness Group. It's another Wednesday night, and I'm listening to the show. I came in yes, sir. Came into the show a little late. Heard Brother Yahra on the show speaking. Wow. I think this topic can't be preached enough in our community with the demonizing of young black males. And everybody has their opinion on how to effectively handle the ongoing problem and how to, attack the issue before it becomes an issue. I'm a firm believer that everything happens at home, from the start. I understand what, European, racism in society has projected onto us. But, parents, we have to start taking responsibility, and we have to start changing what we can at home first. And that starts with talking to your children. And as y'all mentioned before, it's just really about how to build your child's character. In particular, we're talking about young black boys who's going to grow up to be young black men, who's going to grow up to be men, who's going to grow up to have their own families and lead and so forth. So you get into their character first. Case in example, my mother always taught me, and I heard y'all mention dress. My mother always taught me how to carry myself, and that goes from mannerism to the way I talk, to the way I deal with people on a day-to-day basis, to also to the way I dress. She always taught me, to, come out the house, clean clothes, clean drawers, brush my teeth, make sure my hair is brushed, and that actually goes a long way. So we have to build character. We won't have young black men out here acting in a particular way if we start building a character from early. And literature to back this, and I'm glad Brother Yahra from Univ of Kmt Press called into the show. The book of Maat is great literature for parents to read. And I had personal conversations with Brother Yahra, and I told him I adopted it into my household. And it's definitely good literature to support the foundations of what you should be teaching your children from a very young age. Not just young black men, but your daughters also. And then, too, as young black boys start getting older, is really just having that guidance, having that, whether it be older brother, it should be their dad, but in some scenarios, if the dad is not there or dad is not available on a day-to-day basis, the mother needs to make sure that they have a good supporting cast around that young boy to make sure that he isn't going off into the wrong path. Now, I speak personally for myself, where I was a teenager, and, I grew up in, the inner city of Philadelphia, and I was around certain things, and then, I had certain people that was like, nah, you shouldn't go on that path. Ultimately, I had to make that decision, but I looked around me, and I seen who was going in the wrong path and who was going in the right path. So, I made that decision based on that. But some of those decision-making processes come from being a child, where my parents instilled on me how to make some of the right decisions. So, so that always stuck with me, even, going into an adulthood. So, yeah, I don't want to be long-winded on the show, but it's a great show. I appreciate the subject again. And, keep doing your thing. I love the show. And, big ups to Brother Yahra at Univ of Kmt Press. The book I mentioned again was Maat. And, if anybody's calling in from the Dallas area, make sure y'all call in because we got those tickets for y'all. All right, brothers, I got to get out of here. Peace.
Peace, Brother Kufu. Appreciate you calling in, bro. We're the Raising Awareness Group. And tonight's topic, we're talking about the demonization of the young black male. Let's be honest. The black male is demonized 24/7, whether it's to media, to music, even in the public. Some of y'all, you're in the public, in the stores, you see you're shopping or whatever. Some black males come in, do a little shopping when they could just be doing, innocent shopping, and then they're looked at as a suspect. But that's just the way things are. Brother Afrikanus, you still there?
Oh yes, I'm still here, and I'm glad our brother Kufu chimed in with us, and he's right. Book of Maat is an excellent literature to have in the library, especially just the black family in general. When he was talking about how we have to take responsibility, and as parents provide the right culture and mindset methodology around that child, especially when we're dealing with our black boys and even our black girls. If they're, if we don't have the father support factor there for whatever reason, there's a lot of reasons why things happen, but, to properly fill that void and not try to take on some macho, egotistical mindset that some women have made the, vast mistake of trying to fill the, the fatherless role. And I think that our children, even have to, we have to take on the responsibility of our children to keep them from being demonized, and don't let them fall into that category that's been set out there by white supremacy and academia. And that's hopefully, and like I said, we talked with the brother Yahra, and it's just beautiful scholarships that these brothers have put out there for our people to use as a model to support that methodology and to put in their libraries. And I think it's just needed. We have to clear our minds and get focused. We have to we acquire our African minds. We're not going to win this using European and Arab way of thinking. Their thinking doesn't work. Their thinking, if we acquire their way of thinking, we're going to continue on with the self-hate of our people, because generally their ideology is just anti-African in every way. Any way you put it, it doesn't matter. They just have an anti-African ideology, and they go against everything of Maat. They actually go against what we created, and they try to repackage it and give it back to us. So, but again, we're raising awareness group. We're talking about the demonization of black boys. Brother Afrikanus, my brother Kevin Williams on. Again, we're talking about the University of Kmt Press. They'll be having a lecture in Dallas, and if we have any callers or listeners in Dallas, we are definitely giving away some free tickets. So you just definitely need to chime in with us. If you want to get on, just call us, let us know that's where you're from, and we'll definitely compensate you guys with some tickets to go there. So I would love to go myself, but I can't. But you guys definitely don't want to miss out if you're in the Dallas area. So please just chime in with us, and we'll definitely take care of you.
All right. I want to bring up a point. Well, not a point. I noticed, we of course, you see we have this crazy election thing going on here, and
yeah, your boy Trump just won your state.
Oh yeah, well, I honestly saw that coming because that guy Marco Rubio, he was not going to be he wasn't fit. But anyway, I don't care about the voting process. I haven't voted since 2008 after I was duped and drank the Obama Kool-Aid. But it's another subject. But what I'm trying to get at is, as you can see, the other day, in Chicago, and I commend those kids, out there. They shut down the man's rally. But the thing is it's funny that as the rally was shut down, you notice how the media, the media was saying that the people, mainly black kids, I'm gonna say they're under 30, age 25, they were thugs. They called them thugs because they came and protested straight up, Trump, his rallies. I mean, there's nothing short of a Nazi rally in a sense, if you really look at it. But yeah, I mean, just because they came out there to exercise their so-called First Amendment right, I mean, just as someone has the right to have a rally, they have their First Amendment right to do that. There's somebody who's a dissenter has the same right, and that's what those people did. And they came out there, and I guess eventually, Trump got scared. It was like, yo, we're in Chicago. You feel me? This isn't Kansas City or other states. Chicago's got a rep, as you know, and thanks to the media because of the so-called black-on-black crimes that's going on there. He was like, man, screw this. Let's get out of here. And he left it, but then the media was calling all the protesters a bunch of mindless thugs, petty thuggery, and all this other exercise their First Amendment right. I wonder if there were white kids or non-blacks. I wonder would those protesters be demonized?
No, you know that, brother. Again, we have to take our own accountability and stop waltzing in these people's. I'm not walking in no white folks, all white town in the middle of the night, where I know they may have KKK organization active. I'm just not going to go through there. So that's just like the brother that got punched. Whether he was paid to go there and be disruptive or not, what do you expect? The police stood right there and watched you get punched and said they didn't see it. What do you expect was going to happen? I'm happy that's all he got was punched. I'm glad. I'm glad that's all he got. Because white folks don't play fair.
And the dude said, yo, next time he comes here, we have to kill him. Made an on-air threat. Yeah.
So did Trump. So we have to understand that our people. And again, if you're listening in, just press 1. Just press 1 if you want to talk to us, ask a question, or just sound off. Just press 1. We'll recognize it on our dashboard, and we'll put you on. But I'm just happy the brother just walked away with that, because white people don't play fair. If you come approach a white guy and you want a fist fight, he's going to pull out a knife. You pull out a knife, he's going to pull out a gun. You pull out a gun, he's going to pull out a bazooka. You pull out a bazooka, he's going to try to get a tank. So that's just how he is. He has to be the one up. He'll never see you eye to eye, face to face, man to man, mile on mile. It's just not how he operates. He has to have some type of one upper on you because he's scared of you. He's demonized you because he's scared of you. So, we have to take responsibility and stop putting ourselves out there like that. I would never go in white supremacist territory. That's just not what I would do, because I know how I am, and I don't want that repercussion or even be forced to defend myself, because what we call defending ourselves ends up getting us killed and locked up. So, we have to be more smarter than that. We have to use our brains and outsmart these crackers, because they are not playing fair. And his methodology is basically just kick ass now, ask questions later, and call the police. That's just how he do, because the police has always been his friend, and that's what he'll do. But let's go to another caller. What's this? Let's go to this caller, area code 330. Area code 330. You're live with the Raising Awareness Group.
What's up, brothers? Hotep. This is Fred in Ohio.
Hey, peace, brother Fred. Hotep. How you doing tonight?
Fred, what's going on, man?
Oh man, just working in, just tuned in. Got out of the workhouse kind of late, so and I just chimed in about the demonization of the black man. And I just heard you talk about how the media portrays us, and I'm part of the media, and I know what they do. And I've mentioned this before, that the media is also part of entertainment. That's what it's all about. Now, with the demonization of black males, black men, black people, that's the entertainment value. I can't help but to believe that, or wonder why, a handful of black people, like you just mentioned, will go into the lion's den, quote unquote. I've seen clip after clip after clip where small handful of black people have gone into these arenas and been kicked out. Why do you think they're doing that?
My only estimation, analysis of it, Brother Fred, they're being paid, because I'm not going to put myself in harm's way.
any black person know better. You can't go nowhere in an arena or any venue where there could be 5 to 10 to 20,000 nothing but white people, and you may be only lesser than 0.1% of the black population that's in there, and thinking you're not going to get treated like a degenerate like they are.
Right.
So, you know, and of course, with black boys and black men or black people being demonized by these same very whites, I don't know why they would think that they wouldn't get treated anything else that what they've done to us in prior days. They were protected. I mean, just look at the setting. You have 10 to 15,000 whites, and then you have 5 or 6 black people. What makes you think that they won't? And they have the police protecting them. Most of these people were white supremacists. They wear KKK robes. What makes these brothers and sisters think that they won't actually get physical with you, and actually when they get physical with you, they think that nothing will happen to them in return? Because forever and a day, the white police officer has always been a service to him. They've always catered to him. Yeah, so I don't understand. It would only make sense if they're being paid. Is it worth being paid by, I guess, Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders to do that and put yourself in harm's way? Well, that's on them to put a price on their safety, because
now,
whatever the go ahead, brother Fred.
Now, the one thing, like you mentioned, Hillary or Bernie paying these people to go into, Trump has been playing on the emotions of the white.
Mm-hmm.
He could have paid them too.
He could have paid them too. Then again, you know, the party, his party, are against him, and they publicly came out and said, "Yo, we're going to do anything in our power to stop you." Well, you know, they could have, the establishment could have paid them. It was like, "Yo, disrupt his rally so he can look like he's inciting riots and hate." And for a split second, you know, the media was like, "Yeah, he's inciting hate and riots," but then it was right back to business as usual. And then the black people that went in there were described as thugs instead of protesters.
I'm gonna tell you. Now, here's one trick of the media. All right, that young brother he didn't get punched. He got elbowed. Now, if they go to court, which they have, I think he's been charged with assault. We got the police, and I know the Neely Fuller Jr. I listen to him on a couple of shows. He has a book out on words, compensatory word guides. And he said that there are 2 types of enforcement. You got police, and you have race soldiers. Those are the people that will protect the whites who don't see blacks as human. So he mentioned that those men that were providing security, those were race soldiers. I'm like, well, okay, whatever. But going back to the wording that the media used and the police used, that older guy hit that young brother with an elbow. And people were saying he got punched. Now, here's the game that the media will play. The police said, we did not see him get punched. They told the truth. They saw him get elbowed.
Well, he didn't get punched. That's the wording, like you said. The wording.
That's the wording. When you are in media, it's all about how you use the words. So when that old man mentioned that, okay, I'm going to kill you, and they see this feeble old white man going to court, they're not going to believe that, oh, he's actually going to kill somebody because, oh, he's elderly and old. Now, if you had an older, middle-aged white man or a younger white man and did that, oh, they would have came down on him. They purposely chose that older white man to get up and elbow that kid. So if you look at it, he came up with a straight elbow. That was all, to me, in my eyes, staged. The same way when Trump had those 2 sisters, I think they were calling Stump for Trump or some crap, where they were on the podium cheering on Trump. Oh, they got paid big time.
Oh, yeah, those 2.
Just to go up there and act like some buffoons. So this demonization goes bigger, and like I say, you got to pay attention to the words, pay attention to the staging. So that's pretty much. I wanted to kind of add that to the conversation.
Oh no. That's great. I mean, like you just said it, the wording, and how you use the example, how the police was like, we didn't see him get punched. Yeah, you're right, because as you said, I guess he got elbowed. So elbow's not a punch; those are two different strikes. So,
right. Because this is what I did when I saw it on YouTube. I kept clicking pause. I kept clicking pause. I'm pausing the video to see what he did. And then you got to ask yourself, I'm in video. They had angles from 2 or 3 sides. You got to remember, when you see this stuff or these videos that he put out, you got to ask, why was that camera on that scene at that time?
Like it was script?
Because it was like a script. Because when you have more than, this is my thing, if you have more than 1 or 2 angles on a scene, it's scripted. So on that video, CNN had a shot, Washington Post had a shot, and it was all different qualities of video. So it was about 10 video cameras on that scene, all kind of angles. So that's why I say it's scripted, because most of the fighting that went on when Trump tried to come to Chicago, they didn't have a lot of those scenes. They wasn't expecting that. But every other little scenario, it was always 5 to 6 cameras on that scene. You gotta watch how media uses this stuff. Now, like me being in video, that's what I see. I'm like, how did they get that angle? How did they get that close up? How they did this, or whatever. I think somebody was in that kid's clique that filmed it from the backside. But if you watch the news, it's about 10 angles on that. So, and then the kid didn't get cuffed either. They didn't cuff him. When the headlines went out, they tried to dramatize it. Hey, the cops jumped this kid. They put cuffs on him. No, they didn't. They pinned him down, held him down for a little while, and they helped him up. Well, snatched him up, and then took him on out the building. And I don't even believe that those are real cops. I believe that's like arena security dressed up like that.
Probably gave him his paycheck. Like, you did a
right.
good job there, boy.
Right.
Gave him his paycheck.
Yeah, go buy you some Jordans. So
you're not gonna vote no way, so yeah, go ahead and get you some Jordans. Yep. Ain't that something?
Right. It's just like when I talk to politicians, and I help young men out in my area too, and I tell them they need to watch the words they're using. For example, kids say I need a job. Okay, go look up the word job etymology. Just put it up on type in job etymology, Google it. It'll say a lucrative, low-mean affair, a pittance, a piece of chance work. That's nothing. I tell the young brothers, hey, look for economic opportunities. Look for a skill. Look for a trade. You ask for a job, they're going to see you but the McDonald's. You got to watch the words you use. There's words everywhere, and the media is the main source of those words, and we don't pay attention to them.
So you can't check them all.
Say it again?
No. You're right, brother. As I recollect, and I talk to you, and thank you, and Brother Fred, I just recollect that our, social media and just media networks have basically done, their best of attempts to just keep our men and women demonized overall, and this is what their main objective is. And anyway, just even in the political stand, like you said, when we're talking about voting, now we become the protesters and the ones that are being the sacrificial lambs or being pepper spray, anything that has to go against the norm or anything that has to be out of line or out of sight, we now become synonymous with it. And so that's why I think that these few individuals who are doing it, the thing in Chicago, that was one thing, but like that situation right there, that was like the spark of it. But we just had to keep, advised and be in check because things will get ugly.
and somebody could get hurt. And I'm just hoping none of us get hurt up behind some white man's election, because at the end of the day, voting, none of that's going to help black people get back into their African minds. And it doesn't matter if Sanders, Hillary, Trump, or Rubio get in there. It doesn't matter. None of them have African black people minds and best interests at hearts. Our black churches, which is our biggest organization in America, does not even have black people's best interests at heart. So they won't. Their funding causes is just to keep them sufficient. They're not trying to get us back to our African minds. Yeah, they're just to keep us pacified and dumb, deaf, and blind. And that's why I kind of appreciate that we have brothers and sisters from the University of Kmt Press that are offering real solutions and literature and methodology that we can use to get us back on track, because we've listened, again, like the brother Yara said earlier, we're letting white supremacist ideology, Arab supremacists ruin our minds. They're exploiting us out of our minds, and we have to get our home back, and we have to take responsibility and accountability to get our homes back in order, which would at least somehow get us started back on the right track.
Now, can I share with you some perspectives I shared with some of my friends who are supporting Hillary?
Oh, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
All right. I asked people if they I tell them to use movies as learning principles or lessons, not just entertainment. Listen to the messages in these movies. I asked the question first, did you see 12 Years a Slave? Most of the people I talked to have. And I said, who was more vicious, the slave master or the slave master's wife? And they all say the wife. And I said, well, if you look at Bill Clinton, he was a slave master. Now he got his wife coming up. And you all are sitting up here voting for her, not watching some of the things she has done to young black people in regards to conversing with them and how she just pushes them away.
Oh,
they don't
not
pay
even
attention
just
to that.
Not even that. I mean, there's videos that surface proof where she called us super predators.
Right.
And they're voting for her. They're just like, she's the one. Anybody but Trump. That's the mindset. Instead of really, I tell everybody, I tell a lot of people. Like I said, I haven't voted since 2008. I voted for Obama, and I'll keep it real. I voted for him just off the strength of him being black. Like I said, that's another story. But if you're gonna vote, if you're gonna vote for anything, you need to vote in your local elections. And put in politicians that's gonna actually represent your interests in your areas. Put somebody in who's going to fix that blighted park of yours that you've been wanting to get fixed for the last 2 decades. Have it upgraded or build a community center or something to benefit your area. I mean, these presidential elections, Hillary, Bernie Sanders, and whoever, they don't care about you. They do not give it. They don't care about you. Their party just wants your votes. Their party, like I said, the key word, their party just wants your votes, just to put their figurehead in. But if you're going to vote, and like I said, get somebody to represent your area's interests. Fix your blighted schools or get things done. Like here in Miami, we have, of course, the politics are dominated by the Cubans and the Hispanics. So each of those, and mind you, Miami is a very segregated city. Don't get it twisted, because all these areas, Hialeah, Little Havana, Sweetwater, Doral, you're not going to find too many black people living in those areas. If you do, it's one of those who's just like, well, they got rich, not rich, but they got some money, and they want to move away from their people, so they feel validated living in those areas. Same thing as, a black going into a white neighborhood. What I'm trying to say is, those people in those areas that I just mentioned, they put people in that represent their interests, and if you look at their neighborhoods, they got the top of the line everything. You come to our neighborhoods, well, we got people who are in office that look like us, but, they just go to Washington just to clock in and get a paycheck. They do not give a darn about us. You understand? So that's what I try to tell people. And that was a good point you made up. You brought up with Hillary and Bill. You know, come on, man, the white woman is very vicious. I mean, if you look at documented things in the slavery times, the white woman who was pretty much getting the bucks fucked up. Excuse my language. You know.
Right. You know that game. See, I'm from the South, and so I know how. Like when they brought that flag down, was it in South Carolina? Everybody made a big deal when it came down off the Capitol or whatever, the Capitol building. Where I'm from, we appreciated that flag. That told us who not to mess with. But that didn't mean it was always safe. So it's like, okay, you put a flag down now, what? Stuff is still the same. Stop playing. I voted for Obama because he was a brother, but also one year I voted because they changed the tax laws and I got burned by that. I ended up having to pay back. So I was like, okay, I can't go through this. Those were the only two times I really voted with some action. But as far as the political arena around any area, I get up off my feet. I vote for myself. Let me get up and help the community. I don't need to go cast a ballot for that because no matter who's in the presidential seat, nothing's going to change until we change it. That's what I tell everybody. They say, hey, did you vote? Yes, I did. I voted for myself. That's my response. I never get any feedback from that.
Truly.
I vote for us.
But anyway, truly. Well, anyway, Brother Fred, I always appreciate you calling in. We'll press up against time. We're about to wrap it up. Well, man,
right.
You know, as each and every Wednesday, man, you know, always appreciate your call, man. Thanks for your thoughts today, man.
Love the show. Hope that. Peace.
Peace. So, yes, people, if you're going to vote for your interests. You know, that's a little off topic, but that's pretty much how it works, man. But anyway, we are the Raising Awareness group. Today we spoke about the demonization of the young black male. I mean, the only thing I can hope we get out of this is, you know, we change our mindset. Like Brother Yahra said earlier, you know, we can change our mindset, change our image, educate our kids. You know, we have to. It starts at home. Brother Kufa said the same thing. You know, build a mold of character. Hopefully, you know, in the next generation, you know, we'll have a better. We won't have demonization. We'll have an uplifting of the black male, of the black family, the black woman. Period. You understand? You know, we'll have better standards amongst ourselves. So, in that note, we are the Raising Awareness group, and we are always live each and every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. You know, I'd like to thank my brother Afrikanus, brother Akil, and the rest of the Raising Awareness group, you know, for making these things possible. You know, tune in each and every Wednesday. We always have a topic that benefits the black community. None of this ratchet stuff that you hear on the other radios. So, you know, thanks for tuning in. Brother Afrikanus, you have anything you want to say?
Just want to say, you know, thank you for all our lovely listeners. You make us great. We want to be great with you, and we're just going to continue on. We're just going to continue on from previous master teachers and scholars that have left us basically a legacy to fulfill. And I just appreciate anyone who's willing with an open heart and good mind and want to better themselves and becoming a better African. That's what we need. We need better brothers who want to be African. Back to our original mindset of our ancestors. Like the brother Yahra said, eating right, reading right, sleeping right, living right, and creating a good environment for our families to get us back into the right state of mind and consciousness, because nothing from what the Arab and the white man has presented to us will help us get there. So, again, if you're interested, again, in some literature, and you want to replace your library from the old white supremacist library that you may have, the Arab library, you need to get on to with the Kmt Press library. It's a beautiful, wonderful layout of compilation of books. Like I said, I have a host of Kmt Press books, and I'm adding more. Like I said, Bach, Maat, African Time, or just some awesome quality books and methodology that we need to restore back in our
mindset in our household. So, you know, like my brother Kufu said earlier, once he adopted Maat in his house, and, you know, he was on the, you know, path to becoming the better black family, because the black family is God. So we have to get our original African centered mind straight first. And again, if you just want to interested, please look at the Kmt Press, and they'll be there in Dallas on the 26th. We'll try to chime back in next week to give away these last couple of tickets we do have. Hopefully, what's the address again, brother? Drop it to him real quick.
Oh, it is 4655 Marcells Avenue, Dallas, Texas.
All right. So we'll definitely have that one more time for him. Anybody who's really interested in going, we have some free tickets for you to go. And again, we're just a raising awareness group. Check us out on our YouTube of all our past blog talk shows, our interviews, and we even have some Kmt Press interviews on there as well. So please just chime in. Just go ahead and log into our website. You can see our supplement that's available there. It's free. It's basically an introduction to homeschooling, because that's the foundation of what our group is, teach the children. And that's what we want to do, because to help the next generation. And that's it. Everybody knows every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, tune in, Raising Awareness Blog Talk. And that's it. Thanks for listening in. Peace, brothers.
Peace, family. See y'all next week.
I'm passing God's conception, approaching near the land's inception. Adjust the mirror in my rear view. I see reflection at times. My highways lead to bleak direction. So I keep confessing, speaking to beef. I call that resurrection, cause I got my soul back. Some call me pro-black. Really, I'm just playing my part. I could've sold crack, it's not for me. My old man thought of prophecy. Kwame and Kuma's vision. Living my odyssey for real. But not the Homer and Greek mythology. Your king, the vice schemes, the conquer this ecology. Towns now to forsake the vacant. I'm freedom in the making. God kitchen, chef rock, a prison. Yo, for 400 years we shed tears, and when it's death among peers, we pour beers. But now what? Just look what the world made me, enslaved me. But at the end, yo, what the fuck's gonna save me? And yo, for 400 years we shed tears, and when it's death among peers, we pour beers. But now what? Just look what the world made me, enslaved me. But at the end, yo, what the fuck's gonna save me? Yo, my pulse quickening as my heart became a simile. I drifted into the reaches of self. I felt panicky, hoping for anarchy, liberation from this insanity. Tears running down my cheeks, kiss the canopy wall of self-doubt. Shout, scream, and wail at the pain coursing through my being. I'm in the hell of thought, caught between a rock and hard place. My personal space violated, catching the case. I can't even taste the bittersweet smell of defeat. I'm feeling the heat of blood rolling down in the streets. And look where I stand, my shadow is a trace of a man that endured the hardships, formulating the plan. Yo, for 400 years we shed tears, and when it's death among peers, we pour beers. But now what? Just look what the world made me, enslaved me. But at the end, yo, what the fuck's gonna save me? And yo, for 400 years we shed tears, and when it's death among peers, we pour beers. But now what? Just look what the world made me, enslaved me. But at the end, yo, what the fuck's gonna save me? This is ridiculous, they fabricate lies. Now I'm sick of this life, people with syphilis still trying to cripple this will. Revolution rapper tap Pope Nicholas Chill. Don't ever tell me that lies, they try to tell me that I can't afford it. Your evolution get aborted, let it be known. I don't condone thrones and Rome. Call it prejudice, I sever this mic with a poem. Folks that hate to see this, mercenaries out for Jesus. Live from the pearly white gates, the boxes squeezes. Godly bag, Confederate flags, I'm held hostage. No 40 acres of mule, abuse profits. No 40 acres of mule, abuse profits. I'm breaking these shackles, they got me chained away from my liberty. Look at the history, how they treated us through the centuries. Like inanimate animals, only giving annual holidays. Representing hardships, we endure today. That's not enough, what the fuck, we're getting comfortable now? Looking like clowns, where industry is taking our crowns and tarnishing our soul. Trading our word for platinum and gold. Our souls are undersold for what? Semi-precious pieces of metal, value changing with time. Open your eyes, we need to rise. Open your eyes, we need to rise. Open your eyes, we need to rise.
The mere possession of knowledge is not enough. It is the ability to use knowledge that matters.